5 Contingency plans when writing covered calls. The strategy of writing covered call options is a conservative, yet profitable, way to make income from stocks you own. A call option contract is written, that is, sold, which gives the right for someone to buy your shares of stock from you at a particular price on, or before a specific expiration date. For giving someone this right, you are paid a premium, which is yours to keep no matter what happens to the price of the underlying stock, the stock that the option is based on. Covered call contracts are usually written for a short period of time, expiring from 1 to several months. You must own 100 shares of the underlying stock for every one option contract, because one option contract controls 100 shares of stock. For example, let's say you own 100 shares of company XYZ, which you bought at $14.45 per share, for a total of $1,445. Your online brokerage will list available option contract information on XYZ, called an option chain, giving various expiration dates and prices you would be paid for selling a call at specific prices, called strike prices. You paid $14.45 per share when you bought the stock, so you would not want to sell your shares unless you could make a profit. Looking at XYZ's option chain, you see that the $15 strike price, the price you would be willing to sell your shares for, is currently paying $1 per share on call contracts that expire 1 month from now. So, you write a covered call on XYZ, and receive $100, which is the $1 premium times 100 shares. You keep the $100 no matter what happens to the movement of the stock price. During the next month, as long as the stock price remains below $15 per share, you will hold on to the stock. If the price rises above $15, someone will buy the shares of XYZ from you. You will receive $1,500 from the sale. Your profit will be $1,500 less the $1,445 you initially paid for it, or $55, plus the $100 you received for selling the call option, for a total of $155. There are, of course, no guarantees, but writing covered calls stacks the odds for success in your favor. When you write a covered call option on a stock, you make money if the underlying stock price goes up, and you make money if the price goes nowhere, sideways movement on a chart. Even if the stock price goes down a little, the money you received from selling the option helps to offset the drop in stock price. Remember, you received a premium for selling the call. That may be enough to completely offset the drop in the stock's price, and you still own the stock. But, what can you do if the price of the underlying stock begins to make a significant drop in price? Next, we share 5 contingency plans when writing covered calls, but before we do, please take a moment to like our video and subscribe to our channel. 1. Determine why the stock has dropped. A company may just be temporarily out of favor with investors, or perhaps the sector that it is in, such as energy, technology, financials, as a whole is down, which is no fault of the particular company you own. You know the old saying, all boats rise and fall with the tide. Or, there may be some bad news about the company that caused the dip. If the company's story and technical analysis still looks good to you, be patient. Just sit tight and ride out the storm. Monitor the price and watch for further price movement. 2. Write another covered call. If your option has expired, and you still believe that this is a company you want to hold, you may choose to write another covered call for 1 or 2 months out, if the premiums look good. You could then recover some or all of the money lost from the price drop. If the stock still hasn't gone up after that expiration date passes, write yet another covered call for the next month. You may be able to keep writing covered calls on the same stock over and over, month after month, and eventually return to profitability, even though the stock price is still lower than when you originally purchased it. Each premium received for writing a covered call in essence reduces the price you paid for the stock. You don't, however, want to select a strike price lower than the price you paid for the stock, otherwise you'll lose money if the option is exercised. As we mentioned, you can continue to write covered calls on that stock, once the current call expires, although you may not want to write a call right away. At the current lower stock price, premiums may not be paying very much. So, you may have to wait until the price begins to rise or pick a further dated expiration date in order to get a decent premium, without picking a strike price below your initial cost of the stock. 3. Add to your stock position. You may want to add to your stock position, if you still like the stock that has taken a dip. Buying another 100 shares at a lower price will reduce the average price per share you paid for all of the shares. That would also enable you to write more than one option contract for the next month. Be sure, however, that the stock price hasn't dropped due to some major fundamental negative change in the company. Rather than buying more shares, this might be the time to bail out. 4. Sell your stock. If, in your opinion from your research, you believe there is little hope in the near future for the stock to recover, it's time to sell your stock and salvage whatever money you can from it. Preservation of capital is of the utmost importance in managing a trading account. There will be losses, but the key is to keep them to a minimum. However, you cannot sell your shares of stock until you first buy back the option that you sold, otherwise you would have an uncovered call. Buying back a call will cost money, since there is a cost to buy the option. You will also incur a commission fee if you aren't using a commission-free broker. But, the money you have tied up in the stock could better be used elsewhere. 5. Diversify. Before you write a covered call, reduce risk by writing covered calls on stocks in unrelated industries. If one sector becomes out of favor with investors, it can pull all stocks in that industry lower. Diversify the sectors of stocks you are in when you write covered calls.